That is not what happened.
Oh.
Wait, really?
That same thing happened to me with Taylor.
He gave us this.
All right, everybody, good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining me here at the Atlanta News First Alert Desk. I am Savannah Louie. We've got your top 5 stories for this evening on September 14th here. Happy to have you with us. And I do want to start off with the big story for this afternoon. Depending on where you were in the metro Atlanta area, you may have experienced some pretty crazy flooding. We just had a line of storms running through our area. We're going to have our meteorologist, Cutter Martin, coming up in just a little bit with a more detailed forecast, and he can also provide a little more insight into what we saw previously this afternoon. But what I want to do is I want to take you to some of the areas who really saw some of the severe flooding that I'm talking about here. So areas that were hit the hardest were in Midtown, West Midtown, parts of downtown Atlanta. If you look at this video, you can see someone standing on top of their car. All of this rain coming down pretty quickly over the course of just a few hours here this afternoon. In this clip here, you see a fire truck rolling right on through here, helping with some of the water rescues. Speaking of water rescues, we have heard that 32 water rescues were made today as of 6 o'clock this afternoon because of flooding in Atlanta. That's according to city officials. I want to go ahead and show you some other video here if I can find it. All right, yeah, so another thing I want to talk to you about, some of the areas that experienced this insane flooding, Clark Atlanta University, that is one particular area that was hit pretty hard. We are speaking with some students today who say that their dorms have been flooded, cars have been completely ruined, damaged. We're going to be bringing you their stories later this evening on Atlanta News First on Peachtree TV, along with Atlanta News First at 11 o'clock on WANF. Now, another really interesting story or area that experienced some of this flooding. This is really just a picture here, but you can see flooding at the Georgia Aquarium. This came into our newsroom. This alert came into our newsroom just before 4 o'clock this afternoon. We're learning that the aquarium is closed for the remainder of today, although today's pretty much over. It'll open tomorrow. It's supposed to open tomorrow at 9 a.m., but you can see here crews with their brooms and their mops trying to get that water out of the aquarium area. Not a good time to be visiting the Georgia Aquarium, that's for sure. And again, our meteorologist, Cutter Martin, is going to be coming up here in just a little bit with more insight into what you can expect from here on out, because we are expecting, I know, some storms to continue over the course of the next few days, so he'll bring you all the latest on that. All right, let's get straight ahead to some more news topics. All right, you might remember this story. It was an extremely compelling story we brought you earlier in this week when a body was discovered in the trunk of a car at a spa in Gwinnett County. Well, now police are giving an update to the body. They say 6 people, including a 15-year-old, have been arrested in connection to this death. And again, that body was found at the Jeju Sauna Tuesday night. That's in Gwinnett County. The 6 people face a number of charges, including felony murder, false imprisonment, tampering with evidence, and concealing the death of another. Police say one suspect parked the car with a body inside of it and then asked a family member to take him to the hospital for some injuries that were not related to this incident. That person later asked that same relative to go back to that car to get something for him, and that family member found the body and called police. As for what we know about the victim, and this is why we're showing this residential neighborhood right now, the woman is in her 20s to mid-30s. She is from South Korea. She came to Georgia to join a religious group called Soldiers of Christ. And suspects kept her inside of a house in unincorporated Lawrenceville, beating and malnourishing her in the basement for a number of weeks. When the woman's body was discovered, it weighed just about 70 pounds. We do not yet have an ID for this woman. Her next of kin have not yet been identified. And so police are waiting until they do that to release more information on who exactly this woman is. I think right now there are certainly a lot of questions. The media, all of us here at Atlanta News First, are pushing for those answers. And as soon as we learn more about this really disturbing case, we will be sure to let you know. and bring you the latest. All right, guys, it is that time of the night. I feel like we're talking about the Trump update almost every time I'm up here, but it's because there is something new almost every time I'm up here, right? So here's the very latest today. Then this, by the way, is surrounding the indictment of former President Donald Trump and 18 others who are accused of election interference with the 2020 election here in Georgia. Fulton County. So the latest news today, these two people you see on your screen, Kenneth Chesbrough and Sidney Powell, there they are. They and their cases are going to be severed from the overall indictment. So these are a look at all the people who have been indicted by Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. The two folks, Powell and Chesbrough, they have requested for a sooner trial. Trump and the 16 others involved will be tried at a later date. We know that previously, DA Fani Willis had expressed her interest in trying all 19 of these people, these defendants, at the very same time. She's using RICO to try to nail them in these charges. I believe there are 41 counts here, and so her intent with using RICO was really to nab as much of these people as possible. The fact that we're now severing a couple of those cases might make things a little more tricky for DA Willis. So, of course, this is, I feel like, the developing story here in Fulton County as we learn more, which honestly might as well be tomorrow. We'll be sure to bring you all those latest updates. All right, guys, got a final great story for you tonight. I am excited to get the right lower third. Here we go. All right. Yeah, this is a good one. I need to show you these pictures here. This is Atlanta United, our amazing soccer team. They visited Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. There they are today with one of those patients. Now, they visited the Aflac Cancer and Blood Disorder Center. So for a lot of these kids, this was not only the highlight of their day, their week, maybe even their year. One teenager that we spoke with, he called it a welcome distraction. The players brought along autographs and gifts and certainly brought along some high fives you see right there, along with some special smiles. So love being able to bring you a positive story. And also I do want to note, even though this is the Atlanta United, we have heard of other teams here in the metro Atlanta area who are known for visiting children's, doing the same kind of thing, just bringing some smiles to all those kids out there. All right, guys, and with that, I am going to say good night for now. We are going to get meteorologist Cutter Martin up here ready to go. Cutter, what max are you?
I am on Weather Computer 4, Max 4.
Max 4.
Busy day in the Weather Center, all the weather computers being used. Lots to talk about.
Yes, okay. So with that, let's give you a picture, though. Before we get to Cutter, we got to show you a picture of our Midtown Atlanta skyline. Beautiful night right now. Earlier, though, ugh.
Yeah, rough stuff, you know, over a really concentrated area, but one of the most populated areas in the entire city. From the west end down to about Mechanicsville over to the kind of west Midtown area, portions of Midtown, south end of Smyrna, on down to the Marietta Street corridor, going back towards Bankhead and the Vine City area. We had a thunderstorm that developed and really just stalled over that immediate area, and it dumped a tremendous amount of rain. And the most important factor here, a tremendous amount of rain in a short amount of time. It's not just how much rain falls, but how quickly it falls that tends to be the biggest issue here. And we did have reports of flooding. You saw the crazy videos and some of the images coming in earlier today. But the good news, while we still do have a few showers and a few thunderstorms out there, a drier mid to late evening and maybe through about the 2 a.m. time frame. And then I think some more rain ramping up across parts of the area as we get into our Friday morning could impact the Friday morning commute. Again, thank you for tuning in and for watching ANF Plus. We're streaming on AtlantaNewsFirst.com and the First Alert Weather app and in the Atlanta News First app, Roku, Amazon Fire. If you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, YouTube, the place to be. Wario, hello to you. Streaming right now at Atlanta News First on YouTube. That's the account to like and to follow. Again, I'm First Alert meteorologist Cutter Martin here. Let's go ahead and shift gears, talk forecast. First Alert, more rain is on the way, especially as we get into tomorrow morning. Maybe after 4 a.m. is when the rain will really start to ramp up. Going to go ahead and talk about rain right now, though, because we're still not completely dry. It's the southwest side that's seeing the majority of the shower and weak thunderstorm activity, though not much in the way of thunder over the past 30 minutes. Moving out of southern Randolph County, back across the lake, moving into Troup County, towards LaGrange, up towards Hogansville, Grantville, southern Heard County, the Texas community, right along Georgia 27. Further to the north, earlier downpour in western Douglas County, near Fairplay has a weekend. Little shower near Carrollton. We're dry in the city of Atlanta. Inside the perimeter, just a couple sprinkles from North Druid Hills over to Buckhead, Doraville, Tucker, Embry Hills, the Assembly Atlanta area. Sprinkles, but nothing, of course, that'll flood the roadways or anything like that. Heaviest downpour here up in Gilmer County, the Ellijay area. Also back towards Towns County, further to the north and west. Back towards Young Harris, the White County line, Ivy Log. Light to moderate rain falling there, and occasionally there are some heavier showers within the lighter rain that could have you reaching for the umbrella if you're taking the dog walk a little bit late this evening. Hour by hour, though, going to start now, and then we'll go deeper into the evening, the overnight hours. Again, right now, forecast model doing a pretty good job with where it's raining. And notice how it's dry on this computer model. Again, what a computer thinks radar and satellite will look like. It is dry in the city of Atlanta. Now, as we go late this evening, 11, midnight, 1, 2 a.m., you can almost see here, I'm going to draw attention to this, you can almost see an area of low pressure, a little bit of a spin here, kind of back this way. There is a weak area of low pressure kind of spinning around the region over northeast Alabama and west central Georgia. We also have a front stalled across portions of the state. And it's all of these factors here, along with lots of moisture in play, that allow showers and thunderstorms to keep redeveloping as we go into the overnight hours our Friday and at times on our Saturday. It will not rain that entire stretch. It's not going to rain constantly between now and Sunday morning, but there will be periods of time in there where there are showers and thunderstorms around, and some of that rain could be heavy, and some of that rain could send you indoors for at least a little bit before you head back outside and continue your weekend plans. I know it's a big weekend. We have Music Midtown going, a lot of events going on this weekend, and a reminder that we are watching the forecast for you, and while it's not worth canceling, it is important to keep in mind that we will continue to have that chance of showers and thunderstorms in the First Alert forecast here for the next few days. We're going to roll through hour by hour again. First Alert rain returns early Friday, and we'll start it at 4 a.m. We're going to bring in that First Alert as we get into 5, 6 a.m., and again, it's looking like the majority of rain tomorrow will probably focus on the south side of town. Notice how it's really flaring up as we get into 5, 6, 7 a.m. Much like today, rain will be heavy in some areas, but notice that there's some dry space in there at 7 a.m. So kind of tricky. It's not a day where everyone sees rain at the same time. It's a day where scattered showers and storms bubble up, and then where they develop, they don't move that much, at least not that quickly, so they can dump large amounts of rain in a relatively short amount of time. The heaviest of the rain still ongoing, 1 p.m., but again, mainly along and south of I-20. If you live in Gainesville, Lawrenceville, Ellijay, up in Clayton, Rabun County, Lake Rabun, Burton Lake, Lake Burton, Clay County, North Carolina, northern and northeastern parts of the area, a little bit drier, but from Atlanta, points south and west, I think that rain chance is a little greater. Good news, we will drop that First Alert as we get into tomorrow evening. It does look like tomorrow dinner time plans and evening plans on your Friday, not looking too bad. And if you do have plans tomorrow afternoon and evening, again, better, improvement in the forecast. Make sure you have a way to be alerted to showers and thunderstorms in your area. First Alert weather app is a good tool to have. Just search Atlanta News First or First Alert in your App or Google Play Store if you don't already have it. And here's how the app will best help you tomorrow. On the home screen, go to the upper right-hand corner, click on the settings menu. It looks like 3 sheets of paper, and then click on the further settings menu. It looks like the little gear and says settings. And from there, you can go to weather notification types. It's just another option. It'll be written out, weather notification types. Make sure that your severe alerts are turned on tomorrow, your precipitation alerts, and your lightning alerts. So basically what that means, if your area where you're selected to be in the app settings. If it's put under a severe thunderstorm warning, for example, you will get that alert. And if rain is within a few miles of your plans, heading your direction, you will get that alert as well. And if lightning approaches your plans, you will also get that alert in the First Alert weather app. So a really good tool to have here for the next, not just tomorrow, not just 24 hours, but really as we get into Saturday once again, we're going to be talking about that chance of additional showers and thunderstorms in the First Alert forecast. In fact, we'll pull up that 7-day. We have that First Alert going for not only tomorrow, specifically first half of our Friday, but also into Saturday. Showers and thunderstorms around. And Saturday's rain could linger into the afternoon. I don't think it's an afternoon where everyone gets poured on, everyone sees rain at the same time. But it is an afternoon where there will be rain in the forecast, and we're going to be tracking showers and thunderstorms off and on. I'd say mostly between about 4 a.m. Friday and noon or 1 p.m. Friday, and then especially as we get into Saturday morning after 5 a.m. and possibly on through mid-afternoon. And then Sunday, that shower and thunderstorm chance a little bit lower, I think primarily early. And then as we go a little bit later into the day, drying out Sunday, some cooler, drier air filters back into North Georgia and metro Atlanta. So by Monday, Tuesday, we're back to nice weather. Temperatures low to mid-60s. High temperatures, mid-80s, lower humidity, lots of sunshine, dry forecast. And Wednesday, Thursday, yes, we're going to technically bring back that rain chance, but it's going to be relatively isolated, looking like a much quieter next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, as compared to how this day shaped up and how the weather may shape up Friday into Saturday. Again, a reminder, full team is always here to answer weather questions, comments, concerns. We have the late crew in tonight, First Alert meteorologist Fred Campagna and Patrick Pete, both here to keep you updated on the late news. We're always keeping you updated at AtlantaNewsFirst.com and in the First Alert weather app. If you want to wake up early tomorrow morning, especially with that chance, the rain, downpours could impact your morning plans. Wake up with the Atlanta News First morning team. Rodney Harris and Ella Dorsey, both in the saddle to let you know where roads may be having some issues tomorrow in a worst case, just in case, and more importantly and most likely where you're just going to be dealing with some wet conditions and where that rain may be developing through the morning hours. Again, active weather continues. First Alert ongoing for Friday and for Saturday. We'll keep you updated right here at AtlantaNewsFirst.com and in the First Alert weather app. Join First Alert meteorologists Patrick Pete and Fred Campagna coming up in just a little bit on the late news. Peachtree TV, Atlanta CW affiliate, and back on WANF at 11 p.m.